have to be. Okay, we start from the beginning. No, I think we just finished the bhashya of that particular verse, samsara verse. Okay, we'll give it a little more love and care, this Upanishad. TLC. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, I suppose we should chant this one so that we at least get a little bit of our bearings. Urdhvamulaha avakshakaha eshaha ashvathaha sanatanaha. What is that? 2, 3, 1. Correct? Yeah. Tadeva shukram tad brahma tadevamritamuchyate tasmin lokaha Shrutas sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etadvaitat. This etadvaitat is an exclamation of the proclamation of the Mahavakya, which is repeatedly taking place. Etat, this is verily that which is pursued. That's the whole idea. Okay, so that we remember that at various portions. Tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve lokaha tasmin shritaha. So this Brahman, which is what? Which is not urdhvamulaha avakshakha, not yeah, because when you say that tad, when you see, it almost refers to that upside down tree. Tadeva shukram. We are not talking of the upside down tree being shukra, and tade shukra means pure, and tadeva brahma. Interesting use of pronouns. Sarvanama, pronouns here are used in an interesting way because the pronoun should qualify the noun, and in fact first you should use the noun and then the pronoun. But when talking about Brahman, happily people use the pronoun first. Because it's always vague and it is tat, that, there, that one, What is that one? I mean, is that one referring to the samsara tree? No. It is referring to the tree sap, the truth of the tree. Not the tree itself, but that which makes the tree a tree. What is it that makes the tree a tree? Treeness. That which has the treeness is called tree. Right? See, we haven't talked about this in a long time. Yeah. That, what is the definition of a tree? That which has treeness. Now, where is the treeness? Is it in the tree? Is it in the tree? No, it can't be in the tree because the definition is that which has treeness. And so, if that has treeness, then that is not in the tree. But then it's ridiculous to say that treeness exists outside the tree. You cannot say treeness exists in the seed because the definition of the seed is that which has seedness. Correct? Treeness doesn't come into the question at all. So now what to do? Other than to scratch the head. And that is exactly what samsara is all about. It's a head scratching situation. You don't know where it has come from. And you try to analyze it, it goes and hides. But then it bites, it keeps on biting. Like bed bugs, Bed bugs are like that. And last year the whole of America had an infestation. After making fun of India and other non-Western countries, karma bites back, literally here. And people were afraid to go and stay in hotels because they would bring back prasad. Yeah. And so, this was something very interesting. Then what happens with these bed bugs is they happily keep chawing on the skin and creating big, big welts. And then you turn on the light. Whoosh, gone. Not a single one you will see. Mithya is like that. It is existent and non-existent. When you look into it, it's not there. But yet it bites and draws blood, and then you know you are suffering. Samsara is like that. All mithya is like that. Makwana, bed, Sanskrit word for bed bug. Yeah, makwana. So mithya is like another M, makwana. And one man also wrote, he was apparently sleeping on the street and getting bit, by the bed bugs. And then he said, "Oh Hari, Harihi Shete Vaikunthe." Shete means sleeps. Where? In Vaikuntha. And Shiva Shete, Shiva sleeps where? In the Himalayas. And then he concludes, Manye Makwana Sankulaya. It must be because of the bed bugs that they have gone so far away. So, like that, samsara can be neither of. This is like a continuation from yesterday. I don't know how, but anyhow, we'll just go with it. So, because the verse is talking about it. And so then when you say Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma, what is this preposition Tat referring to? Very interesting. If, in other words, it's making an outrageous but interesting claim that Yatra Yatra Samsara, wherever there is samsara, where there is samsara, there is what? Brahman. So that's why you don't have to look for Brahman outside of samsara. Tad na atyeti kaschana. Atyeti means it's not outside of the scheme of things. The scheme of things being there, right there, and the scheme of things are causing problems because of one's own ignorance. That which makes Jagat into samsara is what? Ignorance. That's what it is. Otherwise it's just Jagat, But this ha hu that we read, muncha, free me, let me in, let me out, all these jivas screaming. First they build the nest and then they destroy somebody else's nest, and then, then they look for the nest egg and then it's not there and they get upset, they get insecure, they kill each other, they kill each other in the name of religion, they kill each other in the name of money, no excuse, So, if you say Brahman transcends everything, Brahman is beyond, even beyond Ananda, Brahman is there. If you say that, then you're making a setup for yourself. And this is not Vedanta, because then it becomes one of the Abrahamic tradition. Christianity or Islam, that is what, God, untouched by the world, made this cruel world where everyone is just offing one another like flies. Swat. And then what? God also said, so what? And then went away and made for himself a lovely little paradise. You were also in it, but because you were bad, you were banished to the world of bedbugs. This this is not the whole thing. It's not that, Brahman transcends, or not transcends, it's not the correct word. Is that not that Brahman, the location of Brahman, if it first of all to look for a location is loco, but if one insists on locating Brahman, first thing one should know is where not to look. Where not to look outside of the scheme of things. Tadu na atyeti kaschana etad vaitat. This miserable samsara is indeed that. How can this be that? This is that because this is, that is what makes this what it is. So that Brahman alone gives the being to this Jagat. And with my own contribution, it becomes samsara. Contribution of my ignorance. That's my contribution. And so, you don't have to look for Brahman outside of this upside down tree, upside down priorities, upside down, scheme of things. There's nothing to look for outside. It is the very content of the truth of all these things that are there and all these things that are going horribly wrong, and in that horrible wrongness, that which allows this wrongness without being affected by it, and that upon which all this samsara depends without being able to stay there independently, is called Brahman. And what is it? Shukram. Tadeva Shukraha. Shukraha means pure. Yeah. Shukra is also the name of Venus, the planet Venus. In a very pure way. And in the Navagrahas, Venus always wears white for purity. And that purity is about not getting affected by anything that comes around. Everything just is like a Teflon. Yeah, Shukra means Teflon. Nothing sticks, non-stick. And Shukra also means the virya, the essence of the universe, so to speak. It's raw material, so to speak. But I hate to use the word, I'm not comfortable using the word raw material, because then you start thinking it's everything. Or all these origin stories come. That's the, but it's the raw material of the universe. It's the material, but it's the material in the form of all knowledge, all existence, satta and spurti. That's the material. Satchidananda is the material. The raw material of the universe is Satchidananda. So it's Shukra, meaning it's extremely powerful, and Shukra meaning pure, two meanings. Nothing touches it. It's unafflicted. Tadeva Shukram, that it indeed is unafflicted. Tadeva Tad Brahma, that is Brahman. And Uchyate, it is known as, what is it known as? Amritam. Tadeva Amritam Uchyate. Amritam means what? Immortal. That's why it's called nectar. Yeah. Meaning not subject to death. Not subject to getting destroyed. So it is something that is always there, that always was. It's not subject to death because it's not subject to birth. It's free of all modifications. It always is, always was, in the same form. In the same way. Same form means formless form. That's what it is. In the same way it was, it is, it will be, and it lends itself to myriad names and forms without becoming any one of them. And all those names and forms lean on Brahman. But you cannot call them Brahmalina, which means two meanings. Brahmalina means all the dead swamis, people who have crossed over are called Brahmalina. Means they have become one with Brahman. Or Brahmalina means absorbed in Brahman. So that's not what we are talking about. Here, lean English word. Now, everything is leaning on Brahman. What is Brahman leaning on? Very good question. This question was asked to me by a small child. Whenever we see photos of Shiva, she said, he's always meditating. And she said to me, we all meditate on Shiva. That's exactly like this question. I said, Shiva is meditating upon himself. That is exactly like this question. We all lean on, everything leans on Brahman. What is Brahman's support? No answer here. Why? Because Brahman doesn't need support. It's you. Brahman support, really, if you want to know, it's you. Oh, I'm supporting Brahman? Yes. Oh, thank you. If you have never felt so good for such a long time. Brahman is supporting the whole universe. I am supporting Brahman. Wow, this is wonderful. So I must be better, more powerful than Brahman. You are Brahman. You are that self-effulgent consciousness. No, but I like that other one better, that I am supporting Brahman. So, you are the support means you are Brahman. There is no difference. Atma is Brahman because there is no Atma without being Brahman. And Brahman is Atma, there is nothing like that. So therefore, you cannot say Brahman is outside of the scheme of things somewhere, that purity is outside, that limitlessness is outside. As soon as I say that, then that factor called space delimits inside and outside, right? And I'm bringing in space to be more powerful than Brahman, because Brahman is outside of space. You cannot say Brahman is outside of space. Or God, Ishvara is outside of space. If Ishvara is outside of space, then who created space? No, he created space and jumped out. Jumped where? Out. Out again is a spatial reference. What is outside of space? Nothing is outside of space. Oh, then Ishvara cannot be outside of space. That's what I am also saying. Then it doesn't look right to say Ishvara is inside space. No, it doesn't sound right. I'm glad you can see that. Ishvara is neither outside space nor inside space. Now I'm really spaced out. Where is Ishvara? Space is Ishvara. Na atyeti kaschana. That's the meaning. Space is Ishvara. Time is Ishvara. Ishvara, space is nothing but Ishvara. Non-separate from Ishvara. So, tadu, is for emphasis. Indeed, that is not that Brahman, which is Amritam, which is infinite, timeless. And timeless means spaceless. Space and time are always twins, they go together. Timeless, spaceless, ageless, deathless Brahman, which is what? You is what? You cannot be outside of space and time, cannot be outside of the scheme of things. Just like this Jiva within samsara. Jiva pickled in samsara, suddenly goes to a guru, gains the knowledge, and Jiva becomes what? Atma. First pickled in samsara, comes out looking like a prune, and then finally pruned with the knowledge, pruned of ragadveshas, shines and no longer afflicted by samsara. That's the whole idea. And so, therefore, the third Valli, Tritiya Valli in this begins on a very upbeat note. And that's why samsara is described in such awful terms. It is some kind of what is it called? Some kind of aversion therapy. Aversion therapy. People, all these bank robbers and all these people, they're shown, whenever they see the bank, any bank they see, they go crazy because they want, they want it robbed immediately. They don't have a say over it. So they'll show a bank and then they'll show some sludge, immediately. So that the image of the bank is completely, spoiled for them. They are not able to overcome this at all. So this is called aversion therapy. And even for these sex offenders and all, they do this. Apparently very successful, They got it from this Kathopanishad. This aversion therapy here, so that one doesn't get addicted to samsara. Because samsara is very addictive. Just like, cigarettes and alcohol. Who likes their first cigarette? Nobody likes. It's who wants this, blowing it like, nobody likes the first one. Then after that you get used to it. Same thing with alcohol. Nobody likes their first glass of beer or whatever they have. It's all, doesn't taste good. What everybody sees in it, people say. And then, people keep drinking and then you have a fondness for it. So too, samsara is a cultivated addiction in a certain way. So, what happens is that, the addiction is not to samsara itself. The addiction is to the hope of finding the infinite in the finite. That is the addiction. The addiction is not to samsara, the addiction is to Brahman. Oh, I have Brahman addiction? Yes. So if I have Brahman addiction, then it need not be overcome. It has to be overcome because the Brahman addiction is not known as such. Because if it is known as such, then there is no addiction because I am that. How can I be addicted to what I already am? Not possible. So the ignorance becomes an important factor to overcome because I am addicted to the infinite. And the finite becomes a prop for me to get to the infinite. And it just doesn't work like this because this is this is what is upside down. That I seek the means of the finite to get to the infinite, not once, not twice, repeatedly over and over and over. Until life is over. And another life. Over and over and over and over. And so, this is the problem. So then, this is a psychological problem, samsara. So first I have to see what I am addicted to. What I really want. What I am addicted to is not the finite, is the hope of the infinite. And the infinite not being separate from me has to be discovered through the use of the pramana, through the unfolding of the pramana, in the form of the words of the teacher, the words of the shastras delivered directly and understood, and assimilated. Because that is the therapy that one needs. Shabda pramana is an important therapy for this, afflicted individuals, and the affliction happens just like, any other addiction. The health goes down and one is afflicted. Here too, in samsara addiction, then so many unsavory things about samsara come that I am in denial about. I am in denial about the side effects of samsara. The toll it is taking on one's emotional health to keep going life after life, searching for happiness, for a happiness that doesn't really exist outside of oneself. And so it's a very frustrating pursuit. But it doesn't appear frustrating unless one is blessed by a lot of purva punya. And in astrology they always look at the 5th house. Previous punya means previous blessings, to be able to recognize and have a distaste for this addiction. It's okay to go through withdrawal. That's what the gurus deal with. And what is that called? Delirious tremens. Yeah. So these tremors. Tremors of withdrawal, because one has the shakes. One is feeling out of control. One is feeling like, what's happening to me? How am I going to overcome this? Now, first there was at least samsara. Now that is being taken away. Of course, knowledge is not coming. Sanskrit is also not coming. And so, both Sanskrit and knowledge are not coming. And so therefore, samsara is also not going. I'm neither here nor there. Oh no. You know? It's like the boat has gone halfway and has stalled in a squall. Squall, where the wind has died and there is no wind to take the boat. And then, some alligators are swimming close by and looking longingly. Lunch? Question mark. No, go away. Shoe. Okay. Dinner? Question mark. So, so samsara is still, looming around. There is no hope. I've entered this boat, but then it is very perplexing. And then I look to the shore, and then people are dancing and singing, and there is one mela. Mela means what is that? Fair, festival, some kind of a fair, village fair going on. Everyone is celebrating. And then, of course, here I'm sitting in white clothes in this boat. What is wrong with me? Why did I come here? So, am I a better person? No. Did I get anything out of coming here? No, look how much fun they are having. This is called withdrawal. Yeah. And then you feel like taking the oar and thwacking the guru's head with it. Like, what's wrong? I'm getting neither Sanskrit nor, Brahma Vidya. And so better to go back to samsara. This is what is called withdrawal. Happens midway in the studies. And then, so all this has to be managed, right? But this is all purva punya, even to find out that I'm addicted and to have the bravery to overcome the addiction. This is not a small thing. And so therefore, the samsara is always looking longingly at, like the past. Like one person said, before I came to you, at least I was having fun seeing movies. Now you have taken away that pleasure. Because when I see a movie now, I get bored. First I get bored and then I get angry at Vedanta that I got bored. Before, life was so simple. I would just, switch on some mindless thing on TV and just feel happy. And now I get angry when I see the mindless thing, angry that it is mindless, then angry at Vedanta for snatching away that joy. And the person continued, I loved going out to eat, now you have taken away that joy. Because then I tell myself, what is it that I'm going to gain after going there? Same thing, something has to go in the stomach, that's enough. So I can just make something. Why go there? You have taken away that joy. The very fact that, he is saying this shows what? That there is a longing for it. Rasavarjam rasopyasya rasaha asya asti. Meaning, rasavarjam, meaning you can take the person out of samsara, but you cannot take samsara out of the person. That's simple. The guru can take the person out of samsara, go like this, meaning any pieces of samsara fall off. And then bring them on this boat, moksha boat, yeah, slowly. I've been on a lot of boats, so that's why this is coming. And so then, what? But you can take the person out of samsara, but the samsara is still, that longing for samsara is still there, right? Still there for the person. And so how you take the person out of samsara by, taking powered by their own jignasutvam, mumukshutvam, you take the person out of samsara. You means the teacher. But how does the teaching and the teacher take samsara out of the person? This is a longer. You can take the person out of samsara quickly. But how do you take samsara out of the person? This is a process. And the beginning point of this process is this verse. Taking samsara out of the person by creating, not by creating falsely, by truly creating, by truly enabling them to discover a distaste for this samsara. By showing them how upside down the priorities are. You really don't want to go back there. No, yes, I do, I'm addicted. Yeah. Like you tell the person who is given to alcohol all the things about alcohol. You know, and they draw pictures also. This is your liver. And this is your liver after 2 years. This is your liver after 5 years. But I don't see anything. Yeah, that's the point. And, it's not going to be there. And, this is what is going to happen. And so, like this, they create an aversion for that very thing, which becomes a point of addiction due to ignorance, and due to the combination of ignorance and habitual orientation. So this is actually for nididhyasana, overcoming the habitual orientation to samsara, that this is given here. Get away from there. What is that? This strange looking upside down tree, full of priorities, all wrong priorities. And then what is it doing to you? It is frying your brain, and it is making you addicted to it. But it is not giving you what you want. Just like a person given to alcohol thinks that it's downing my pains and sorrows. It's not. It's only downing the pains and sorrows until the next glass arrives. Until this one, the high goes and the next glass of, drink arrives. Until then, it is somehow, it's not taking the pain out. It is just suppressing the pain. Same thing samsara is doing that. Samsara is just like that. Just like a drug or an alcohol, it is suppressing the pain. And that pain, it has nothing to do with samsara. That pain is the pain of what? Not knowing oneself. That's really the pain. And that pain has to be addressed. And so this verse, mantra, very important, addresses this issue of addiction by creating a powerful distaste for the very object of addiction. That's the first part of the verse. The second part of the mantra then goes to show what is it that you really want. What you want is tateva. That you want, that which you want is right here in the form of you. It's going to say that in the next verse. It's right here, it's called Brahman. And what is this Brahman? Tadeva amritam uchyate. Those who know about it know it to be immortal. And it's a little, I want you to see the little word play by Lord Yama here. He doesn't say Tadeva amritam. This alone is immortal. Why? Because all he deals with is mortality. So what does he know about immortality? So because all he deals with is, is mortality. He is the divine mortician. And so therefore in a nice play of words, he says, Uchyate, they say it is immortal. It's not that he has not done the sakshatkara of the knowledge. It's not that he has not owned up the knowledge. But this is a little play to his role in life of being the clearinghouse of everything that is mortal. And then he says, therefore he says, it's kind of a little trickster, usage of the word uchyate, because otherwise there's no need for him to say uchyate. Uchyate means it is said, third, causal, third person. It is said that this Brahman is immortal. In other words, what do I know of immortality? Very nice and very careful and beautiful this Upanishad is. Tadeva Brahman, tadeva Brahman, tad Brahman, what is that? Amritam uchyate. And then what? What's the last one? Very important. Tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve. So what happened to samsara? Is samsara outside of Brahman? No. Samsara is within Brahman? No. Then what is samsara? Leaning on Brahman, and as though reality that leans on Brahman. It's a mere incidental projection of Brahman. It leans on Brahman, but it does not, wipe off its hands on Brahman. Yeah. Like little children, when they eat chocolate or something else, slowly they'll go to the mother. I've seen many of them do this. And just go like that and run off. Yeah. And the mother wonders where all these brown prints came from. Because they don't like anything sticky. They like the chocolate, but they don't like that sensation in the hand. Slowly they'll come with and if mother is not available, some tablecloth, some nice painting, anything, whatever it is, the wall, they just wipe off and go away. So quietly, this samsara must be doing that to Brahman as it is leaning on it, nicely, rub off all my filth and sludge on you. No, tadeva shukram. Shukram means non-stick, unassailed, unafflicted by this. Tasmin lokaha shritaha ashritaha. Shritaha means Brahman is the refuge, of samsara, which is really refuse. So, the refuge of all refuse, this is Brahman. Yeah. And why is garbage called refuse? Because you have to refuse it. That's why. You cannot fuse with it. So therefore, you have to deny it completely as you. This samsara is not me, and this samsara is merely taking refuge in Brahman again. Just for the sake of words. Otherwise, on creates aruchi. Aruchi means kind of a wrong taste. And so, there is no in, off, on, over, under, etc. All these prepositions have no place. So, what is this? It is a samsara that is just a shadow that is cast by the light, which is Brahman. And since the shadow clings to the light, so too samsara clings to Brahman. Brahman is not clinging to samsara. Samsara clings to Brahman because it is non-separate from Brahman. It is an as-though projection. And Brahman is free of samsara. So all the lokas which comprise samsara are within quote-unquote Brahman, so to speak. And then Brahman, of course, is Shukram and Amritam. And then what is that? Tadu na atyeti kaschana. Very important. So, the cause does not transgress the effect. The effect is indeed non-separate from the cause. The cause is, causeless. The cause is unaffected by the effect. But yatra effect, tatra cause. You understand this now? Yeah. So the cause is very much with the effect. But then you cannot say the cause has become the effect. Like milk has become yogurt. No. The cause is causeless, therefore cause is cause, effect is also cause. Because effect, is not separate from the cause. So effect is cause is cause is causeless, effect is cause. But you cannot say cause is effect. It's all one way. When you talk of Brahman, it's one way street. Okay? Yeah. So, then what? Etad vaitat, O Nachiketa, that which you are looking for is indeed this, which is right here. And we have seen the bhashya of this in detail. Very, very beautiful. We'll go to the next one now. Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam
Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam
prane ejati nisritam
prane ejati nisritam
mahadbhayam vajramudyatam
mahadbhayam vajramudyatam
ya etad viduhu
yahetad viduhu
amritaste bhavanti.
amritaste bhavanti.
Yeah, so now now there is a small Purva Paksha to which this next mantra responds. And what could be this Purva Paksha? This Brahman that you are talking about, how do you know it exists? You keep saying Tadeva Brahman, Tad Shukram, Tad Amritam, Uchyate. And you are talking about Brahman in such glowing terms. Where is it? You said you cannot objectify it because it's you. I have to take your word for it. Samsara I can see. I can cling on to it. You want to peel me off of samsara. And then you want to say that you are Brahman. And this Brahman alone matters. But then how do we know it exists? This is the Purva Paksha, silent Purva Paksha that dare not articulate itself, but it could come, in a particular way. And Adi Shankara, in giving this Sangati or connection to this verse, says the following, very beautiful. यद विज्ञानात् अमृताः भवन्ति इति उच्यते जगतः मूलं तदेव नास्ति ब्रह्म असत् एव इदं निस्सृतम् इति. So this is the doubt that knowing which one becomes immortal. This is what was being alluded to here. Then and it was also seen as the root of samsara, that which is unafflicted by everything. Supposing that's not there, then how did this whole jagat come from? What is the root of this jagat? Zero, nothing. This is what is called Theravada. So this is a Theravada Purva Paksha. And the Theravada monks are called Mahathera. Yeah. So, Theravada is a very, Buddhism is kind of on a continuum. This is the very extreme of the continuum, which denies the existence of anything. The truth of this Jagat is zero. Shunya as zero, meaning the whole universe has come out of nothing. Why don't you say Tadeva Shunyam? You can't call it Brahman now because you have already said it doesn't exist. And that which doesn't exist doesn't have a name. You cannot say it has a name but it doesn't exist. If it has a name, it has an existence. So Tadeva Shunyam, Tad nothingness. And then Tasmin Loka Shritas Sarve. All the words are leaning on what? Nothing. It's all about nothing. And so in other words, Brahman is much ado about nothing. It's like I saw one card, people send these cards for New Year and all this. Birthday card somebody had received. They showed it to me. And here's a group of monks and then Dalai Lama this big box he has received for his birthday. And in the next, when you open, he has opened and it contains nothing. And he says, and all the other monks are singing, "Happy birthday, Lama." And he says, "All I ever wanted was this." So, what if Brahman is just like this? And to confuse matters further, in the Chandogya Upanishad, in the 6th chapter which we have studied in other contexts, what is that, Shvetaketu. There is a sentence, Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asit. I have quoted this many times. Sateva Asit. Sat alone was Idam Agre before all this came into manifestation. What was there? Sat. And that Sat, Tat Sat, Sa Atma Tvamasi Shvetaketu. That Sat is this Atma you are, which is you. This is Mahavakya. Now later on in this same chapter, Asadva Idam Agre Asit Tasmat Sad Ajayata. It says all that was there was Asat. Asat means what? Non-existence. And from non-existence, existence came. Sat came. This can be very confusing. This has to be seen properly. Non-existence here, there means free of name and form. That is the non-existence being talked about. From non-existence, what can come? What can come out of nothing? Nothing. At least nothing came out of nothing. Something cannot come out of nothing. Sat cannot come out of Asat. Right? So the Upanishad does these things to wake up the Vedanta student. Yeah. Exactly. So then you hear the word, non-existence has come. Oh, where was it before? We don't know all that. Now Asat is there. And from a non-existence, something has come. What is that? Sat, existence has come. And the snoozing Vedanta students is outraged. What? What did you say? Did I hear you correctly? That's what the whole thing is. So, a selective reading of this non-existence, existence business can immediately take one to the wrong conclusion and say what? There ain't no Brahman. And double negatives make a positive, right? There is no Brahman. What are you talking about? Tadeva Shukram Tad Brahma. This whole universe is just a random dance of molecules and particles, and then they just come together and they say cha cha cha, a kidney is born, and randomly, suddenly they become the brain. Yeah. How is that possible? How do the cells differentiate between kidney and brain? Randomly. If it was random, then the brain would be leaking all the time. And the kidney would be accumulating toxins. That doesn't happen. No, my brain leaks all the time. I don't remember anything. So, what we are talking about is that it cannot be random. Yeah. Random means there is no niyati. Niyati means law. And then if there is no niyati, then there is no niyantra, niyanta. Who is niyanta? The one who is the ruler, the maker of the law is not there, the law is not there, then that is random. So randomly cells don't form things, we know that. There's nothing random about it, it's very, very, orderly. And it's knowledge that is manifest in an orderly way. You can't ask for proof of Ishvara's existence because you are asking for the proof of your own existence. And if you come and ask me, do I exist? Then even politely I have to say a few things, So, this is what it all boils down to. That it's an existence that does not require proof because it is you. It is you. And you don't require proof. Are you here? You have to say yes. I am. That knowledge, that satta, that existence, that knowledge of not what knowledge? The knowledge that I exist, something that can never be denied, can never be negated. It's a sat that is non-negatable. Sat means existence. It's an existence that's non-negatable. And it's an existence that is not objectified. So therefore it cannot be proven to exist as an object. The word proof is only for things that are connected with the 5 pramanas. That's all that can be proven. So Ishvara's existence is not a matter of anumana, deduction. I am, therefore Ishvara is. You cannot go like that. All men are mortal. Socrates was a man. Socrates is mortal. So, so this is not something proven. So how do I understand Bhagavan is? How do I understand? It's not enough to say I am. I know I am so many feet tall and I am, I have so many complexes. But how do I know that Bhagavan exists? That I am that Bhagavan later on? These 2 questions, I don't know how. How do I ascertain or how do I prove Bhagavan's existence? You cannot. Therefore, you have to rely on what is called Shabda Pramana. And so the answer to this mesmerizing question, why not say Brahman is non-existent and that Brahman, that this whole thing has come out of Brahman. Instead of saying that this whole thing has come out of nothingness, why not say nothingness? The answer is given in this word, in this verse. Yat kincha idam sarvam jagat prane sati ejati tatah eva nisritam etad brahma mahad bhayam udyatam vajram iva ye viduhu te amritaha bhavanti. So, yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prane ejati nisritam. What does that mean? It means the following. Yad idam kincha, what all is there, where in this whole jagat. Yadidam kincha, yad kim chedidam jagat sarvam. And then prane sati, ejati. Prane means it is parasmin brahmani, in this Brahman, which is Sat. That Sat is not talked about. In this Brahman which is existent, ejati means kampate, moves. Prana here means Brahman. Prana means life force. So whatever that is there, called the Jagat, in the Jagat, all that is here moves, ejati. How? Prane, in this life force alone. And is the life force existent or non-existent? In this existent life force. Life force here means knowledge. So the knowledge has to be centered on a conscious being. You cannot say all knowledge is floating in the air. Who does this knowledge belong to? That's the thing. You cannot say here is a PhD in electronics, just walking. Unless you are referring to a person with a PhD. No, the PhD, the body of knowledge, received the PhD is coming by itself. Not possible. Knowledge always clings to a conscious being. It's non-separate from a conscious being who is the wielder of this knowledge. Knowledge means conscious being has to be there. And so this prana, which is this Brahman, which is existent. So in this existent prana, all that is here moves not randomly, in an orderly way. This is very important. Doesn't randomly just throw itself against the wall or do whatever it wants to. It moves in an extremely orderly way. And in other words, the whole, and it's a word play on prana here, the whole world is as though nisritam. Nisritam means exhaled. It's like Brahman, Bhagavan, sat and exhaled, and that exhalation was the manifest universe. Very beautiful thing. Yeah. Bhagavan exhaled, and the out breath is this whole wonderful universe, which is not a random event, which is in fact a very concerted, orderly, intelligent manifestation. Most of the time when we exhale, we don't even know we are exhaling, much less inhaling, correct? For you, exhaling is a random event. Who cares? It's just there. Unless you go to some mindfulness retreat and you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, that's different. But most of the time you don't even know you're breathing. But this universe is a very concerted, intelligent manifestation, like even a mindful exhalation. Prane nisritam. First meaning, prane nisritam means it has come out of this prana, which is Brahman. Pranat nisritam. Fifth case also is okay. Both in the second meaning, it has come out of this, and in the first meaning, it is located. It has got that located in that kind of a thing. And so this whole universe is what? Non-separate from Brahman. So prane ejati, that a is not there because it is elided. There is an elision. So prane ejati, what is it? Nisritam. Nisritam means here, Adi Shankara gives the meaning. Nirgatam means gone. How has it gone means brought forth. And he adds a word here in the Bhashya. How is it brought forth? Kramena, niyamena. It is brought forth in an orderly way. And then in this, and what is this order? Mahad bhayam. Yadeva jagad utpatyadi karanam brahma tad mahad bhayam mahaccha tad bhayam cha bibhyati asmaditi mahad bhayam. So this orderly universe that has come out is what? Is an object of great fear. What is an object of great fear? Not the universe, but the maker of this universe. Oh my God. That's why everyone says, oh my God. In a frightening way, frightened way. It is big, Mahat, and it is what? Bhayam, Mahat, Bhayam. Bhaya means fright, fear. It's a cause of fear. Everyone, birds are always, insecure, and animals are insecure. They're afraid. They're afraid of so many things, and what to talk of human beings? They're also afraid. Everyone is running around, and this fear is not the fear of God or of punishment. The fear has to do with my own karma phala coming to get me. That is the fear. That's why I pray to Lord Rudra. What is that? Please withdraw your arrows. Please withdraw your arrows. Namaste Rudramanyava Uto Taishabe Namaha. Namaha to your arrows, to your bows, to your quiver that hold the arrows, to the shoulders that hold the quiver. And then what? Please keep them to yourself. Turn away. I don't like you standing there ready to fire the arrows, slings and arrows of outrageous fortune at me. Turn away. Just go away that side little bit. Yata ishuhu Shivatama babhuva te dhanuhu. Shivatama means may your bow and arrow and everything connected to it be peaceful and non-moving against me. It's my own karma phala that makes the universe a terrifying place. I'm terrorized by my karma phala. It has a lot of implications. Sickness, disease, death, all these things are karma phala. And so all this I want to keep at bay. And I can't. I'm helpless. Karma keeps on unfolding whether you do anything or not. And so therefore what? Therefore I'm helplessly trapped in this life cycle. And then I'm told it's life after life after life after life after life. Oh no! Mahad bhayam. Very frightening. And so, what to do about it? This fear, we will see in the next class, which is meeting on June 15th. Okay? Yeah. In 2 weeks. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Any questions?
Of course, I was having an experience about stuff you were talking about today. Today, exactly. But the idea that whatever's happening is orderly. And it seems like maybe I don't have an impact on it or I can't change it. But what I noticed was, with an understanding of being the all instead of the small, that I can have more of a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Or put it in perspective.
Right.
It was like today I left the house, so I know every time I get in my car and go, if I'm delayed, there's a reason. So
Right.
there's no sense in getting upset. So I'm going to arrive when I arrive. But I come down I-5 and take the 30th Avenue exit, go up I'm partway up the on-ramp, to cut, and someone is coming the wrong way.
Oh my.
Toward me, and my brain just is flipping out, going, maybe it's you that's going the wrong way. So I had to do a quick check. No, it's definitely the other person going the wrong way. So then I react and start honking my horn, and the person, of course, is mad at me, thinking I'm the one going the wrong way. So I swerve to get out of the way, and I look in my rearview mirror thinking, oh, there's going to be disaster back there. And he suddenly sort of wakes up and turns his car around and comes back. But I thought, well, good Lord, if I hadn't taken that exit right when I did, he would have ended up hitting somebody head on my car.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it, is there's a reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's always a reason.
And it's better, it's nice if I can be unscathed. That's always nice.
Yes.
But if I can have a sense of humor about it, then I'm not running around in anger all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's beautifully put. That's exactly what it is. Anger or fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is all about fear, because samsara is either sorrow or fear. And anger is the manifestation of sorrow and fear. Both. Nice stuff. Nice to get back into Katho after some time. Yeah?
Someone called Andrew Rossi had written 2 potatoes coexist in a basket. As soon as 2 jivas eat them, they turn into words of anger and even bullets. Maybe some red peppers will distract the jivas and look inside.
Potatoes and red peppers, nice combo. ठीक है. Some nice prasad today.